Hi guys, how are you tonight? It's me, Annie, and tonight I will be doing this breast cancer awareness manicure for you. Breast cancer awareness was in the whole month of October, and I am a bit late on this, but I do hope you guys enjoy this manicure. So let's get started. And these are the items that I will be using in my manicure tonight. Here I have some nail studs that I'll be using to decorate my simple accent nail with. I have a wax pencil to pick up those little nail studs. I have a cleanup brush, or you can also use a Q-tip if you don't have a cleanup brush. I have some cotton to clean my stamping plates with, and it's on my cotton color. My two stampers, or if you don't have the sponge stamper here, you can go ahead and grab a cosmetic sponge, and that will help you just as well. And I have my nail polishes that I'll be using, my two for the gradient as well as my stamping polish. I have my stamping plates and my scraper, some acetone nail polish remover, a roller tape brush, as well as my fast drying top coat. So now that we have everything ready, let's get started. So, seeing that this manicure is for breast cancer awareness, I am going to keep to the breast cancer colors, which is usually pink and white. And for the stamping, I'm actually going to use a pink metallic color. So my base color right now that I'm using is from China Glaze, and this one is called Bottoms Up, and it's number 1214. And this is a pretty bright pink, as you could see. I'm actually going to get that into a subtle pink, and that's what it's going to look like. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to use my Wet n Wild White, number 453B, which is called French White Creme. And we're going to pretty much sponge in this white over the entire nails. So here I have my little stamping sponge, and if you don't have one of these little things, you can go ahead and just grab a piece of sponge, or you can grab a cosmetic sponge, and that would help. And I'm basically just going to do as if we're doing a gradient and gently go over the nails. So I'll put the nail polish right on here, and we'll just go ahead and tap it in. I'm not going to put too much of the white on there. I'm going to put gentle strokes off it and not too much of that color, because I do want some of that pink to come through. And you could skip this part if you have a nice light pink that you prefer to use instead of doing the entire nail with the gradient, but I just like the effects that it have as well when you look at it up close. So that's about enough. And basically I'm just going to pat it in like that all over until I like the color. And I am using my liquid latex around my fingernails today, as you could see. That's so at the end I don't have too much cleanup. And that's one down. I'll go back and do the ends just a little bit because that looks a little bit in need of some of that white. It's still too bright right here on the ends by the cuticles. And that's about it for the full coverage. So I'll go ahead and I'll continue to do that for the next 4 nails. Alright, so now that we are done with the gradient work on full coverage of the nails here, you have to wait a couple seconds for the white to dry. It's not going to take very long because it's not like it's a heavy coat of nail polish. And we can go ahead and stamp on that. But I'll just go ahead right now and put the stud on here. And let's take care of that little accent nail. Very simple. And I just used a little stud on it tonight just to bring it out just a little bit because I wanted to keep this very simple, even though it's called an accent nail. So let's grab my studs, and I have a pink that I'm going to stick to because the colors, like I said, for breast cancer is usually pink and white, so I'll use a pink little rhinestone. And usually the way I apply this, as you know if you look at my videos, is I go ahead and I apply a top layer of top coat and then put the stud on there and put a couple more layers of the top coat to secure that stud in. And I usually tell you guys that if you go ahead and apply a couple layers well off that top coat, the stud will stay in, or your rhinestones, your whatever jewels you're using, they would usually stay in for about a week. So here I have my fast drying top coat, my favorite, And I'm going to do full coverage over the entire nail, even though we're just using that one little spot for the stud. And then I'll go ahead, I'm using my wax pencil to pick it up. And this is a great little tool. If you guys have a lot of jewels, I do recommend you buy one of this. It's a wonderful little item. And we'll stick it right at the base, close to the cuticles. And I'm gently tapping down to make sure it's secure, it's not sliding all over. And we'll let that dry. And then we'll come back and we'll do a couple layers of top coat on that. Usually about 2 would secure it in and lock it in. And mine usually stay on for about a week. So if you do that, you would probably have better luck in keeping them in. All right, so let's move on to the stamping. And tonight I am going to be using 2 plates. They're both from Born Pretty. One is plate number 26. And this one has the awareness ribbons, as you can tell. And the other plate that I'm actually going to use is Born Pretty plate number 34, and this one has butterflies. So I'm going to mix those. If you could see here, the metallic polish is very hard to see the pattern on, but I'll give you close-up of pictures at the end. But if you could see them, I am going to do 1 butterfly, 1 ribbon, 1 butterfly, the accent nail, and then 1 ribbon. So let's get started. Let's do the ribbons first. So the ribbons will be on my index fingernail and my pinky fingernail, and I used this one for the index and I used this one for the pinky nail. So let's go ahead and do that, and we will be using the metallic colors, and this one is B149. It's called Villian, and it's beautiful, beautiful stamping polishes. The only thing you need to know is they do stain, so get yourself a stamper that you don't really like that much. And I did make a video on these polishes if you're interested in it. So let me grab my scraper, and I have my stamper, and let's stamp this ribbons on. So we'll do the bigger sets of the ribbon first, and the hardest thing about this is to line it up. And here we have that metallic pink. And the thing is, with this particular nail polish, they dry very quickly, so you have to work very quickly. So you could see the ribbons are there. It's 2 rows of ribbons. We're going to line the middle one up to that nail. So here we go. I'll put it in the middle, and then we're going to press and roll. And there you have it. I know you can't see it very well. Once I hit that with a little top coat, it'll come popping right out to you. There you could see that. And let's go ahead and do the pinky one. And that one I'll be doing in these little bows here. I'm just going to take a little bit of the smaller ones out because it's like 1 or 2 only can fit in the pinky nail. My nails are so tiny. So let me grab that from here. There they go, 3 little bows, and I'll stick them. I'm going to try and line them up, but I'm not going to get all of them because, like I said, my nails are so tiny. And there's 2 of them. Let me see if I can show you. The ankle, there they are. And like I said, they'll pop again. So I have a little piece of one. Let's see if we can squeeze in another tiny little one in that area. So now I need to clean my stamping plate. Let me just wipe it down to take off the excess nail polish remover. And I'll see if I can get a small bow at the bottom to fit that empty slot. There we have it, a tiny little guy. So we'll put this one right there. Yep, there you have the bows. And again, I'll show you close up of these because I know you can't see them very well. So now that we're done with the bows, let's move on to the butterflies. And for that stamping plate, we'll be using the Born Pretty stamping plate number 34. And the butterflies I'll be using for the thumb is the open butterflies, and the butterflies I'll be using for the middle finger is the closed butterflies. There it is for the thumb. And there it is. And now we'll do the full butterflies for the ring finger. Not for the ring finger, for the middle finger, I'm sorry. There we have the full butterflies. And press that down just a little. And there we have it. So let me just remove all this stuff and I'll get the top coat on my tweezer to remove the latex. Alright, so now that the stamping polish is also dried and I have all the other stuff out of the way, before I go on and polish this with my top coat, I'm going to remove these latex. This one is already dry because of the fast drying top coat. So I'll remove that latex first. And then I'm going to clean it around the nails and hit it with the fast drying top coat again. And then we'll remove the latex from the others. And the reason I'm doing this is because, like I say, this one I like to do a couple layers of top coat, and as you can see, the latex does help with the peel if you're using that. So it's just now to go in and clean up around the edges here that may have a little bit like this does. And if you don't have a brush, go ahead and grab a Q-tip. Sometimes I believe the Q-tips helps a little better as well, but today I'll use my brush. So as you can see, that's nice and clean. Oh, I got some stamping polish here. I'll clean that out too. And right away, I'm going to give that one a coat of the fast drying top coat again. This time I'm making it nice and thick. And I am trying to secure that jewel in. And like I always remind you guys, do not forget to cap the tips of your nails. This usually helps with the wear and tear of the nail polish. And it also prevents chipping if it lasts long. So now I'll do the same. I'm going to remove my latex, and I usually go around like you saw. And before you go ahead and put your top coat on, just give it a little gentle brush to make sure that there's no flakes from that latex on there. So let's do that together, and then we'll come back and we'll coat the nails with the top coat. Alright, and as you can see, there's not too much mess, so I can just go in with that little brush again and clean up before we apply that top coat. And I really like using latex, especially when I'm doing that gradient, because it really does help for a big mess. And not much to clean up, as you can see. And that's pretty much it. So we can go ahead and grab that top coat. So when you're usually brushing over your stamping image, I do talk to you guys and tell you how to do it, because I don't know how many of you are looking at my videos for the first time. So I'll just mention it again and we'll just continue. Do not skimp on the nail polish. That's the first thing. Always load your brush up with the top coat. And it's nice if you have a thick one, but if you don't, if it's thin, go gentle. Very, very light on the image. Try not to go over the image twice, because that will definitely drag the polish and your whole entire manicure would be messed up. So again, load your brush up. Do not go over the images twice. Don't forget to cap your nails when you're done at the end. Also, it helps to make sure that the stamping polish is dried. And as you could see, the image does pop out. It looks very good once it's coated, and that protects the stamping image as well. And the last one, the thumb with the butterflies. And that was the last. So I'll be right back. that's it. There we have it. The breast cancer awareness manicure. I know it's been for the whole month of October, and I'm sorry to get this one out so late to you. I've been very, very busy, and October isn't finished yet, so I just got it in time. But here we go, a nice simple manicure for you. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video tonight, and if you have any questions, always feel free to write to me. I'll answer them as best as I can. And thank you so much for joining me and watching tonight. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye now.